This episode is going to be a slightly different format to usual because I'm not in the studio. I'm actually prepping for a trip to Egypt. It's kind of funny, probably less than 2 weeks ago, I was sleeping in a bunk on a trawler that was 35 degrees Celsius. Fast forward to present day and I'm prepping for a trip to a pretty luxurious collection of 12 suites by the Red Sea in Egypt. Which is kind of funny because it's a kind of, it couldn't be further away from the previous project. And that's a little bit what my filmmaking trajectory this year has shaped up to be. It's kind of emblematic of it. A world of contrasts. For this kind of quasi-episode, I'm just going to talk through some of the kit and mentality for prepping for a trip like this. Usually when I do this kind of interiors project overseas, I get the benefit of the client's production team streamlining everything. So they'll sort out transport, accommodation, hire vehicles if required. All I really have to do is sort out my own ATA carnet and also, make sure I've got all the right kit for the job. This time around, there is no sort of intermediary client. I'm working directly for the location. So because of that, the admin burden is a bit heavier, or potentially would be heavier. In order to get around that, I'm running a much more stripped back loadout. Usually I would be packing everything and then trying to account for every possible contingency, although somehow I still always manage to forget the exact right travel adapter. But apart from that, there's sliders, batteries, chargers, NDs, rods, accessories, everything you can think of, tape, cables, spare SDI cables, spare RMI cables, everything. This trip isn't like that because I'm sorting everything out myself. And actually, more so than other international projects, we're trying to sneak in a little bit below the radar because it just doesn't really make sense to bring everything for this brief. We're still managing to bring a slider, but rather than the Kessler Cine slider and shooter, which has its own massive pelly case, which looks a bit like a gun case, I'm taking the Zeppelin Micro 4, which fits in this bag with a tripod, which is pretty sweet. I will still be taking the Komodo X because it's just about the sweet spot in terms of image quality and size and weight. And so this is an extremely prestigious destination and I want to make sure I capture it with the absolute maximum fidelity. And also I'm not sure I've got another camera that can capture the same dynamic range or color space. And all being well, we're going to be subjected to extremely harsh Egyptian desert lighting conditions, which will be a first for me, so I'm really going to be leaning on the dynamic range. A few times I've done projects in destinations that have promised to be, extremely beautiful weather-wise, and I don't know, just luck of the draw, we've ended up being there at times where there's been back-to-back rain or constant thunderstorms. So this hopefully will be my first full sun shoot. For this project, I'm lucky enough to be traveling with my glamorous assistant Meg, and so between these two luggage items and two small carry-on personal bags, that's the entirety of our loadout. So we are trying to be reasonably lean with the proviso that we are still traveling with a slider and tripod and a Cinecam. I haven't yet worked out what lenses to take. Normally I travel with a set of Nissi Athena primes and that's just not going to be possible this time. I would just go with the Ranger Super 35 17-50, but 17 isn't quite wide enough on this sensor for the interior spaces. So I will definitely be traveling with the 14mm Nissi Athena and probably the 35 too. That's a really lovely pairing. I've spoken pretty extensively recently about the versatility of various shoulder rig options using bright tangerine hard parts. Well, again, because space is at a premium this time, we're running very stripped back. And the monitor setup won't be like this, but it's just the universal dovetail system base plate. I'm taking the handles because whatever configuration they come in handy, and also the Casbar shoulder pad, which as you see here is configured to bolt onto the back of the left field mini. So it's mostly an interior shoot. We're still going to likely get some excursions in, and I want to have the versatility to capture some more documentary style stuff and even a bit of behind the scenes stuff. So that's a consideration. And with that in mind, we're also taking a second camera. Torn between taking the ZV-E1, which now that it's just begun to warm up slightly in Cornwall, I'm beginning to encounter thermal bottlenecks with the body. So it's the ZV-E1 or the Nikon ZR, and we are going somewhere that should be reasonably hot, sunny and dry. So ostensibly the ZR perhaps is the better choice, but the jury's out. there are some compelling reasons to bring the ZV-E1. It's smaller, it integrates nicely with a DJI mic. If we're not using it for extended shoots, then it's probably the better option still, but we'll see. I'll see what Meg says. I've been really lucky with the interior spaces I've been able to work in over the last couple of years. They have been spaces where their longevity has been sort of intended to be measured in centuries rather than decades like most. The exciting part about this project though is, it's going to be really nice to break away from the strictly English design vernacular of the spaces that I've been working in. The destination is heavily Parisian influenced, so it's at a real crossroads between French and Egyptian design languages, which I'm really excited to see. Certainly their social media stills at the moment look absolutely incredible. So that visual shift is quite an exciting prospect as someone who works in the interior space from time to time when I'm not on a trawler. And I'm optimistic it sort of broadens my interiors portfolio in a way that is sort of a bit more meaningful than adding an additional English interior. Maybe one of the downstream effects is that we'll have the opportunity to do a bit more of this travel style video work. Because we're anticipating pretty harsh Egyptian desert light, for the first time ever, I'm taking and cracking out my dark VND from Breakthrough, which is something I've had for a long time but never had any occasion to use, so that's low-key exciting. Actually feels like a reasonably generous baggage allowance that we've gone for. No petty cases in sight, so we shouldn't attract too much attention, but one of the challenges is I'm planning on bringing my big fancy hat, so I think I'm going to have to wear it, which is a real commitment to the look. I'll just get it to show you. I mean, if ever there were a location where I could probably get away with wearing a custom cowboy hat, Egypt might be it. Certainly the closest I've been. I'm going to keep this video pretty short. It's quite refreshing making like I said, a quasi episode, but with very little prep. Usually if I'm recording something, I at least try and have an idea of what I'm going to speak about. This time it's been much more free form and free flowing, which hopefully doesn't make for too uninteresting or poorly structured an upload, but you let me know. If you want to see what we're up to in real time in between now and whenever the next upload might be, follow myself and or Meg on Instagram. I'm Jack Filmed and Meg is now Meg Filmed. Makes sense. And if any of what you've seen today or other times on the channel has been compelling or useful, please subscribe and like. It really makes a difference. I'm Jack. Whatever this is, although it looks a bit different to usual, I'm still referring to as Western Approaches, and all being well, the next time you see me I shall be reporting from somewhere sunnier and hotter. Thanks for watching.